Hello everyone, welcome to Encode Decoded. Today we are going to talk about something important in any programming language, whether it may be Python, C, Java, that is called conditional statements. Basically, it is like giving our program a brain, so it can make decisions based on what the user does. With conditional statements, we can make our programs smarter and more responsive. Imagine you are building a game where the player has to choose which door to go through. If they choose the right door, they get a reward. If they choose the wrong door, they have to face the challenge. Conditional statements let us do this by checking which door the player chooses and then running different code depending on their choice. So in this video, we are going to discuss the things if statement, else block and elif clause. Now here it is the if statement, and this is the syntax for if statement: if, expression, and followed by the statements. Let's consider the same example. If the player chooses the right door, then give them a reward. Let's try with the example. Here number equals to 20, and I'm going to check if number greater than 10, then print condition is true. As we know that here the number is 20 and the condition is number greater than 10, so 20 greater than 10, it is true. So if block will execute. Let's run this and see the output as condition is true. Now let's see what happens if the condition is false. I will change this condition to number greater than 30. So here we know that 20 greater than 30, that is condition is false. So the if block will not execute. Now I just want to add one more statement to this code. Here print, this will execute every time. So this statement will execute if the condition is true or the condition is false. The statement doesn't belong to the if block, so it will execute every time. Let's run this code and see the output here. Let's take an example. Here I just wanted to make the condition as false, that is 20 greater than 30. As we know that it is false, so it won't allow us to the if block. But the second statement will execute because it won't belong to the if block, right? Hence, here we can understand that irrespective of the condition, this statement will execute. Then else block. If else statement, here it is the syntax for if else statement: if, expression, that is condition, and followed by if block statements and else block statements. There is no need of a condition to check in the else block, because if the if condition is false, then the compiler goes to the else block. This is like a backup plan. If the if statement doesn't work, then do this instead. In our previous example, if the player chooses the right door, then give them a reward. But what if the player chooses the wrong door? Then give them a challenge. That would be handled in else block. Let's take a general topic of voting system. As we know that the person is eligible if the person's age is greater than or equal to 18. Otherwise, he is not eligible. So here I am considering the age as 16 and check if age greater than 18, then print eligible, else not eligible. So we know that here the value of age is 16 greater than 18. Here it is the condition false. So if condition false, then we are moving to else block. In else block we have the statement of not eligible, then that will be printed. Let's make use of previous example. This time I am considering age value as 19. So here age greater than 18, that is 19 greater than 18, that is true. So we are going with if block statements, that is eligible. Let's take another example. Here also we can make use of print statements or something code to execute other than these if and else blocks. Those will be executed every time irrespective of the condition. Whether the condition is true or false, it will execute every time. We can manage the control flow statements with these if-else statements by using conditional expressions. For example, like if a is greater than 18, there we are checking the condition. And next, by using logical operators. Here we can consider two conditions to check by using logical operator, that is a is greater than 18 or a is less than 60. Here R is the logical operator. And by using value itself, we know that we are considering the value of a as 16, 17, 18, like that. By using that value also, we can manage the control flow if is. So here is means whether it may be 16 or 17 or 18. If you haven't watched the operators video, it's better to watch it now. Let's take an example. Here a is equals to 18. If a is greater than or equal to 18, then print major, else print minor. As we know that 18 greater than 18 is false, but 18 equals to 18 is true, hence it returns major. Now by using logical operators, here a is equals to 30 and I am considering two conditions and make a logical operation here, like a is greater than 18 and a is less than 60. If the two conditions are true, then it will be true, as we know that the logical and truth table. Here a is equals to 30. 30 greater than 18, true, and 30 less than 60. It is also true, hence it returns true. If true, then print major. Here it is the output. Now by using value, a is equals to 18 and if a is, here a is means 18, so it returns major because the age value it is not null and non-zero. Here we need to consider the thing, that is other than the null value and value 0, everything will be true. Let's run this and see the output as minor, because if 0 that means false, so then go to else block, print minor. See here, these are the false values, 0, 0.0 or anything equivalent to 0, or none, false, empty space, empty string, empty tuple, empty list, empty set. If we try with these false values, every time we will end up with else block. Let's check with integer value 1, hence we return if block. If we change it into -1 also, we will get output as if block, because other than the null value and 0 value, everything will be true. The next one is elif clause. Here if elif else statement. Here it is the syntax for if elif else statement, that is if condition 1 followed by if block statements, elif condition followed by elif block statements. We can maintain a number of elif clauses as we needed, and then followed by else statement. Let's understand this concept by using previous example. If the player chooses the blue door, then give them a special reward. Otherwise, if they choose the green door, then give them a different reward. Here we are considering two conditions, green door and blue door. Let's try with an example. Here I am going to consider number equals to 10. If number greater than 0, then print it is positive number. If number equal to 0, then print 0. Else print it is a negative number. So here number is 10 and 10 greater than 0. So it is true. If true, then execute the if block statements, that is positive number. Let's take the same example. This time I am updating the value of number as 0. So here, if number greater than 0, that is 0 greater than 0, it is false. So it won't execute if block. Then coming to elif, number equal to 0, that is 0 equal to 0. Here it is true. Hence execute the elif block, that is 0. Again take the same example and updating the value as -10. Here also number greater than 0, that is -10 greater than 0. Here it is also false. So it won't execute if block. Next coming to elif block. Here number equal to 0, that is -10 equal to 0. That is false also. So hence we are going to else block, that is print negative number. And the next one is nested if else statement. So here we can make use of the if else in nested also. For example, like num equals to 0 if num greater than or equal to 0. Here we have two conditions, that is greater than and equal to. So again we can check that if num greater than 0, then print positive, else print 0. Now coming to outer if, that is else print negative. Let's run this and see the output as 0, because if num greater than or equal to 0, going to if block, and again we will check if num greater than 0, that is false, and else print 0. Now update the value of num equals to -2 and run this, and we can see the output as negative, because num greater than or equal to 0 is false, and it will execute else block. We can use this if else in else block also. For example, like num equals to -2 and if num less than 0, print negative, else if num greater than 0, print positive, else print 0. So num as -2, hence it returns negative. Now update the num value as 2. So here if num less than 0, here it is false. So execute the else block. In else block we are again checking if num greater than 0, hence print positive. So here 2 is greater than 0, true, and print the positive as value. Now again update the num value as 0. See here, if num less than 0, it is false, execute the else block. Here we are again checking the if else, that is if num greater than 0, 0 greater than 0, it is false. So hence execute the else block, hence it is 0. This is all about conditional statements. Thank you.